Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Michael Cohen. I am Tremco's resident drone expert. This morning when I got up, I turned to my wife and I said, "Darling, in your wildest dreams, did you imagine that I would ever be a speaker at a Perpetual Building seminar?" And she turned to me and said, "Darling, you're not in my wildest dreams." I stole that joke from YouTube, and if you want to know who said it first, you just have to search all of YouTube. I'm about to commit presentation suicide, and everyone in this room has had AV problems. Let's give this a try. Yeah, all you need to do, Sam, let's hook this up. If you've had trouble in a meeting with a projector, I know this is the fact, but I'm a technological geek, and I absolutely love the Skybeam program, and we're going to try and live feed from our offices at Laird and Eglinton. 50 Beth Nielsen. This is hotspotting through my cell phone. Our crew is in the Tremco facility. This is where my office is, where we train. We're sending it through the 3G and 4G signal now. So, John, give him a text to say spin around and look at the downtown. So not quite presentation suicide. But I think this is a tremendous game. Well, okay, you're the judge, okay. But I think that we are remarkably close to sending you inspection information, to doing a condition audit from your lazy boy in your den, and directing the drone crew when it's raining or January to be able to do those sorts of things. So absolutely incredible. There's a 10-second lag on this because it's going through my phone. There's no Wi-Fi in this building. So is that not just absolutely? You have no idea how relieved I am that just worked. John, can we switch? And I'm going to get to my presentation. I am a co-creator with the executive team and the Ontario reps. I think we all co-created what I think is the most significant drone program right here in this city, happens to be Canadian, which is Tremco's Skybeam, Building Envelope Asset Mapping. So as soon as I bring up my presentation, if you think drones have just arrived, they absolutely have. The largest drone company in the world that's prosumer and consumer drones, it has about 75% of the market share, did $4 million of business in 2011. The next year, 40, the next year, 140, then 400 million, and then last year did $1 billion. I mean, the curve of sales of drones, it just seems to absolutely have arrived. So this is 2011, happens to be a Canadian drone. Paul Sheehy always says to me, "Michael, you've got to make absolutely everyone aware. Tremco's drones will not be available at Walmart anytime soon." This is a very significant military piece of equipment. It was notable in the Arab Spring of 2011. The Libyan rebels used it in the Gaddafi overthrow, and that's about when you started to see people, Tremco, early adopters, starting to look at the technology, remote sensing, tools that were able to take cameras into interesting places that happen to be dangerous, very hard to reach, and very costly to get to. Military grade, it understands wind speeds. It flies for about an hour. It can take gusts up to about 80 kilometers an hour. I don't take gusts of wind up to 80 kilometers an hour. And it's an intelligent tablet. So the pilot would put in a flight plan, have no fly zones, minimum altitudes, maximum altitudes, and hit go when the vehicle was satisfied. And it's about 5 pounds. Tested, it has about the lethality of a golf ball. And what are we doing with it? Well, I speak about this all the time as very disruptive technology. And what does this mean? Well, it's an absolute game changer. And it's changing the building sciences. There's absolutely no doubt about it, and it's changing it very quickly. Let me give you an example of that. This is a pretty dark and ugly place that we did, Tremco Skybeam did a roof diagnostics. This just happens to be in Quebec, where we just happen to be seeing a lot of the adoption of the technology. Go figure, the province has Bill 122 for mandatory facade inspections, and now, of course, we're seeing that bill that's going to arrive in Ontario as well. This is a 1.2 million square foot facility, pulp and paper mill, multiple roof sections, something about 70. Some of them are outdoor access only, so you've got to climb up on ropes, or excuse me, on ladders and that sort of thing. A very hostile environment for roofing nighttime thermography. And there's the image, 1.2 million square feet of thermography. Typical FLIR camera, so one of the best on the market, high resolution, and great data sets. We're looking straight down, nadir, 90-degree angle to absolutely everything. And we're disrupting roof diagnostics. What would normally take 5 to 7 days of good weather to just scan that roof is now taking a drone about 1.5 hours. So this has tremendous impact for the building sciences and for your work. It really begs the question, well, if now we're able to image these sorts of facilities from the parking lot, no one in danger, and cost effectively with better data, how does that impact our workflows? This is, of course, a typical view of roof diagnostics, not very compelling to anyone other than the thermographer. And of course, the data has problems. We've got emissivity problems, reflectivity problems, it's oblique angles, certainly not very compelling to a property owner. And here's the new view. This is a facade. On top is a high-resolution photograph that's comprised of hundreds of photographs, distortions taken out of, so it becomes a measurable map with centimeter resolution at your desktop. And the bottom is the same, only in thermography. So the days of looking from the street up and getting oblique angles, which are unreliable, we're now able to go 90 degrees to the facade and get a complete picture of the entire elevation, and we can do it relatively quickly and certainly safely. And it's exponential technology, and what I mean by this for the computer people in the room, we're doubling Moore's principle right now. We're seeing a doubling of flight times, of camera power, of flight controls, those sorts of things, about every year, 9 months to 12 months. So the technology is moving very, very quickly. And 2015 was a really exceptional year for drones. We're really excited about this. It was a tough PO to write. We went from 1 camera in 2014 to the doubling of camera power in 2015. I said, we got to change the camera, because in 2015, now drones are not only flying as a stable platform, the cameras are moving as a stable platform, but we saw the arrival of optical zooms. So we were seeing 20, 30, 40 megapixel cameras that now have 30x optical zooms. So within literally minutes, we're able to get really significant detail on the facade. And we're starting to see from 30, 50, 75, 100 feet plus millimeter features on facades. And the science of computer vision and photogrammetric science, so to be able to measure photographs, we're starting to be able to measure this within millimeter tolerances. Here's a dome inspection that we did recently I thought I'd show. There wasn't a boom in Canada that could complete the angle from the street or beside the building to get inspectors, consultants to the top of that dome. So in we came as a solution. And with optical zooms, we're starting to see this level of detail. And drones pick up georeferenced information. So while we're doing the inspection, to be able to create georeferenced dense point cloud models, well, that's just pretty easy stuff. And in Skybeam, what we've discovered over the last 2.5 years of program development and then program launched is that it really takes a solution to add value. We need to have the right operations in the field. We need to have the right equipment in the field. More importantly, we need to have the right software packages and analytics to be able to disseminate, to measure, to manage the data as well. I often hear, well, yeah, we got a drone as well. Tremco Skybeam is really a solution right from data acquisition to presentation. And we're quite optimistic that we're changing roof diagnostics, wall diagnostics, as-built documentation. Mark my words, a drone will be flying a construction site every single day from the first shovel in the ground till commissioning. Change detection, of course, now becomes fairly easy if we're able to build maps. We're able to look at year over year or month over month changes and identify what's different. And of course, building enclosure commissioning. I think it's obvious that drones are going to impact commissioning as we move forward. Tremco Skybeam is a very interesting play. What it really says in terms of its model is let's engage our partners. If we're going to be vanguards in the technology, let's really open it up to our partners and build a network. So they designed a model that does precisely that. Tremco Skybeam will do the data acquisition, it'll do the image processing, and then it says at that point, if the consulting engineer, the architecture, or general contractor wants to do data analysis, data verification, and analytics, then that is open. So it's very much an engaging partners type of model. And consultancy can be customer-facing or Tremco, which I think is a very unique play on behalf of Tremco. And what's their mission in Skype? Why do this? Well, of course, drive innovation. As we said, it's an exponential disruptive technology that has a great fit in an industry that has tremendous cost pressure, tremendous safety pressure on it. Better data, of course, if we're looking at things closely, we want better buildings, and of course, improving safety is a very significant mission. Are we doing questions? I don't know if anyone did questions.
We're going to wait till the end, but you've got a minute or two. Are you done now?
Yeah, I thought we were to give questions. So I wrote a question on my back. What question to consider? In your professional world, what is the next big thing? Thank you very much. Thanks, John.